Have you ever noticed how society loves to celebrate older men dating younger women, but the minute it's the other way around, people absolutely lose their minds? Suddenly it's unusual, it's taboo, or she must be having a midlife crisis. And let's be honest, if a 50-year-old man dates a 30-year-old woman, he's called distinguished. If a 50-year-old woman dates a 30-year-old man, she's called a cougar. But here's the truth most people ignore. Older women who date younger men aren't desperate or delusional. They're often the most emotionally aware, confident, and independent women you'll ever meet. And today we're unpacking why this dynamic happens and what it says about modern dating. So stick around. Let's start with this. Older women have lived. They've been through the heartbreaks, the marriage, the kids, the job changes, and the self-discovery. They've figured out who they are. And most importantly, they've figured out what they won't tolerate anymore. So when a younger man shows genuine interest, he's often drawn to that confidence. He's not dating a woman who's playing games or waiting 3 hours to text back. She's direct. She knows what she wants. And for a lot of younger men, that kind of emotional security is incredibly attractive because women their own age might still be figuring out who they are. It's not about age. It's about energy. The energy of a woman who knows herself is simply magnetic. There's also a shift happening in modern dating. The power dynamic is finally changing. For decades, men were taught to be providers and women to be caretakers. But mature women today, many of them have built careers, they've built their own wealth and their own independence. They don't need someone to take care of them. They want someone to connect with them. So when a younger guy comes along who's ambitious, open-minded, and maybe even a little bit in awe of her, it feels refreshing. It's not that she's looking for someone to control, she's looking for someone without ego battles that often come with older men who feel threatened by her success. Let's be real, some older men can't handle a woman who earns more or travels more or simply doesn't need him financially. Younger men, they could care less. They often see it as a turn on. And we can't ignore the physical side of this equation. For many older women, being with a younger man reignites something, adventure, playfulness, spontaneity. Younger men often bring excitement back into their lives. They're curious, affectionate, and they're not afraid of romance. And yes, let's say it, there's often incredible physical chemistry in these relationships. But here's another truth that rarely gets said. Women today are staying more fit, more stylish, and more self-aware than ever before. They invest in themselves physically, emotionally, and financially. They eat well, they work out, they know how to dress. They've learned the art of self-care, and these accomplishments deserve rewards. So when a younger man appreciates her energy, her effort, her confidence, that's not superficial. That's recognition. It's attraction built on admiration. It's not about trying to feel younger. It's about feeling alive again. Older women don't chase youth. They embody confidence. And that energy alone makes them more desirable than women half their age. As one psychologist said, when a woman reaches her 40s and 50s, she's finally in her prime emotionally, sexually, and spiritually. Now here's where things get controversial. Society has always applauded older men for dating younger women, as if it's some kind of achievement. But when an older woman does the same, she's judged harshly. And why is this? Because for generations, a woman's value was tied to her youth and her fertility. But in 2025, that narrative is breaking down. Older women are saying, I'm not defined by my age, I'm defined by my vibe. And younger men are listening. They're not looking for a mother figure. They're looking for a partner who's emotionally intelligent, sexually confident, and knows her worth. The double standards still exist, but here's the twist. It's starting to work in her favor. More and more men are openly saying they prefer older women because the relationship feels more authentic and drama-free. So what can we learn from all of this? Whether you're 25 or 55, the dynamic reminds us that connection doesn't follow a formula. Compatibility isn't measured in years, it's measured in emotional alignment. alignment. Older women dating younger men challenges the system. It questions who gets to have passion, who gets to reinvent themselves, and who gets to find love again. And that's the beauty of modern dating. All the rules are gone. You're defined by your own version of happiness. Love doesn't care about your age. It cares about your openness, your energy, and your willingness to grow. So if you're watching this and you've judged an age gap relationship, pause for a second and ask yourself why. Because maybe what bothers you isn't the age difference. Maybe it's the reminder that love can happen at any stage of life, even when society says it shouldn't. And that's the point. Real love isn't about timelines. It's about timing. So if it feels right, and if it's built on respect, trust, and attraction, don't let age be the reason you miss out. And if you've enjoyed this episode, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Do you think it's more socially acceptable today for older women to date younger men? Or are we still stuck in a double standard? Let's hear your thoughts below, because this conversation is just getting started. And as always, thank you for tuning in on the podcast. Thank you for watching on the YouTube channel. And remember, we are not just dating, we are dating to win. And I will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Dating to Win. If you're serious about improving your dating game, don't miss an episode. Hit the subscribe button or go to youtube.com/datingtowin25. Good luck out there, and we'll see you on the next episode of Dating to Win.